29,146 cases have been recovered.
Back to work is a step of hope for the best to come. Here are the instructions that will protect you from coronavirus. Wear masks while leaving your house by following proper procedures. Keep a physical distance of at least 2 meters away from others. Follow the main hygienic procedures of washing or sanitizing hands from time to time. Avoid using elevators as much as possible, and if you have to use it, ensure less number of people to guarantee physical distance from one another. Gatherings at entrances, waiting rooms, offices, meeting halls and prayer places are forbidden. If you have any symptoms of the disease, immediately contact the bodies concerned specified by the Ministry of Health. By adhering to these instructions, it will assist you in preventing from contracting the COVID-19. Stay safe.
Middle East Committee of the World Tourism Organization held its 46th meeting today to discuss the impact of coronavirus on the international tourism industry and the losses resulted from this pandemic. The video conference touched upon a number of topics like innovation, digital transformation, and supporting tourism companies. The meeting discussed the proposed solutions to minimize the losses of the tourism sector due to the suspension of the air traffic. The Sultanate was represented by the Minister of Tourism in the meeting, highlighted the importance of supporting tourism companies in order to turn into virtual tourism. World Tourism Organization called upon the necessity of rendering financial and political support for tourism sector and reconsider taxes and systems that affect on travel and tourism. The Sultan delegation to the meeting was chaired by His Excellency Ahmed bin Nasser al-Mahrizi, Minister of Tourism. Oman Technology Fund came first in the Middle East and North Africa and fourth regionally within a number of investment funds in the bold capital specialized in the startup companies, according to Magna Center for the second quarter of this year. The number of investments of the fund during the first half of 2020 reached 31, focusing on e-platforms and applications to limit the spread of coronavirus. Sitcom News Bulletin. Al-Daoun industry is one of the most ancient Omani aircrafts. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Israeli military said its aircraft struck targets in the northern Gaza Strip late yesterday following a barrage of rockets fired into southern Israel. No casualties were reported on either side. The military said attack helicopters and fighter jets struck underground infrastructure belonging to Gaza's ruling Hamas group. The army said a total of 3 rockets were fired from Gaza towards Israel, setting off air raid sirens in southern Israel. After 3 wars and numerous skirmishes over the years, Israeli and Hamas have likely observed an unofficial ceasefire in recent months, but tensions have been rising as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said he hopes to soon begin annexing Israel-occupied land in the West Bank. India has overtaken Russia to become the third worst affected nation of the coronavirus after reporting 24,248 new cases today. India has now confirmed 697,413 cases, including 19,693 deaths, while Russia has 680,283 cases. Indian authorities yesterday withdrew a planned reopening of the famed Taj Mahal monument after new cases were detected in the area. India's Culture Ministry has decided to reopen all monuments across the country today after more than 3 months, with a cap on the number of visitors and a mandatory wearing of face masks. After a strict nationwide lockdown, India has eased restrictions in most of the country except for the highest risk areas. The coronavirus pandemic has killed at least 543,306 people worldwide since it surfaced in China late last year. The United States, the hardest hit country with 129,947 deaths, is followed by Brazil with 64,867, Britain with 44,220, Italy with 34,861, and Mexico with 30,639 fatalities. Australian officials say they will effectively seal off the state of Victoria from the rest of the country after it announced a record 127 new cases as the virus spread through Australia's second city of Melbourne. Meanwhile, in the Balkans, Kosovo's government reimposed its highly curfew in the capital Pristina and 3 other towns in a bid to curb an increase of coronavirus infections. The world's most famous portrait is on display again following a reopening of the Louvre Museum in Paris today, which has been closed to the public for 4 months because of the coronavirus lockdown restrictions. Visitors hoping for an elusive glimpse of Da Vinci's masterpiece would be required to wear masks and reserve their tickets in advance. About 70% of the giant museum, 45,000 square meters of space, housing 30,000 of Louvre's vast trove of works, was again accessible to visitors starved of art in lockdown. A bulk of visitors to what was the world's most visited museum before the pandemic used to come from overseas, led by travelers from the United States. But Americans are still barred from the European Union, which is gradually reopening its borders. The Louvre is hoping to reopening will attract visitors from closer to home, including the Paris region, but is bracing for the plunge in numbers. Before the pandemic, as many as 50,000 people per day toured the Louvre in the busiest summer months. Meet the chimps of Ngamba Island in Rainforest Sanctuary. Here, primates live in a semi-natural state, safe from the threats of poaching and habitat loss. The island in the middle of the Lake Victoria has been home to rescued chimpanzees since 2007. The chimps owe their home here to a young woman from England who moved to Africa 60 years ago. Jane Goodall became a pioneering researcher of chimpanzees. The Jane Goodall Institute runs chimp sanctuaries in several African nations, fulfilling Goodall's aims to work with local people to protect chimpanzees. Goodall worked for a decade on conservation, animal welfare, and environmentalist issues. Many of the apes have been rescued from the wildlife trade. Most of the chimps are orphaned when their mothers are killed by people. Chimpanzees are under threat from human behavior, such as forestation, hunting bush meat, and illegal pet trade. And officials said that the chimpanzees are susceptible to human viruses, including coronavirus-like flu, and the team are concerned about the ongoing pandemic. The virtual discussion session for joining the Arab countries to the World Trade Organization indicated that the Sultanate witnessed a great development in the international trade field as its non-oil export and imports increased, besides the foreign investment volume inside the country. The session renewed the importance of updating the procedures in line with the developments of the world trade to improve the environment of the trade and business, such as logistic infrastructure of the e-trade and the local system to benefit from the joining in the organization. Oman Arab Bank gets listed at Muscat Securities Market after merging with Al-Aiz Islamic Bank. More details in the following report.
After recently finalizing the merger with Al-Aiz Islamic Bank, Oman Arab Bank transforms into a public joint stock company by listing its shares on Muscat Securities Market.
We are pleased that Oman Arab Bank has listed its shares today on the 6th of July 2020 after a 40-long-year presence in the Omani banking sector. The listing has happened after the successful completion of Oman Arab Bank's merger with Al-Aiz Bank, Al-Aiz Islamic Bank. A merger that has taken place over 2 years, and this merger reflects the confidence that our shareholders and Al-Aiz shareholders have in the local Omani economy, as well as the successful confidence in the entities themselves.
The total number of the shares listed was around 1.67 billion at a listing price equivalent to 213 paisas per share, with a total value equivalent to 355,584,330.
Muscat Securities Market is happy to host Oman Arab Bank in the market as a listed company. Their share listed today in the secondary market, and the price opened well. This is the post-merger listed between Oman Arab Bank and Al-Aiz Bank, which is a great step forward to the organization and a great new entrant to the market, especially being well-known bank in the industry, provides our investor community with yet another great company to invest and provide exposure and expansion to the market.
The listing of Oman Arab Bank in Muscat Securities Market is a strategic step in line with the private sector's efforts to boost the national economy. Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Oman oil price September 2020 delivery reached $44.26 per barrel. Oman oil price witnessed an increase by 96 cents. The average price of Oman oil July 2020 delivery reached $33.68 per barrel. Ad-Du'un industry is one of the most ancient Omani crafts that is well preserved in the country over the years. We have a report on that.
The palm tree remains a symbol of livelihood for the Omani people, as it provides them with food, shelter, furniture, and many other things. The Omanis make use of all parts of the date palm in a variety of crafts, one of which is called Ad-Du'un craft, which is based on the palm tree branches.
We have been working in Ad-Du'un craft for many years, since 1965, and now we are teaching it to our children. We cut the dry branches from the palm tree, remove the fronds, and shorten them in an equal manner, then soak them in water for 14 days in winter or for 7 to 8 days in summer.
Soaking the dry branches in water makes them more flexible during the process of making ad-du'un. As the branches become soft, they are arranged equally, tied with a knot and threaded with ropes to make one full da'an.
We learned this craft from our grandparents. We acquired it about 7 years ago. Our parents and our grandparents maintained it. Now, it is our role to preserve it. This craft has great returns. I will try to develop it in the future and create new things.
الدعون are used for many purposes, including arbors, sheds, house enclosures, a surface to dry dates, and household furniture.
الدعون industry is a distinctive craft which is preserved and passed on to generations as an important element of the Omani heritage. صالح بن خلفان الرحبي، ولاية of نزوة الداخلية Governorate.
You're watching the Sultan of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq issues royal orders to approve the formation of the Board of Directors of the Oman Investment Authority. The Ministry of Health announces 5 deaths of COVID-19, a new 1,557 confirmed cases. And with the Sultan's participation, the Middle East Committee of the World Tourism Organization discusses the impact of coronavirus on the international tourism industry. And with that, we'll come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here in the newsroom and the studios. Thanks for watching. Good night.